If you knew today was the last day you'd see someone you love, what would you do differently? Or better yet, if you knew today was the last day in your own life, what would you do differently? So today I've been thinking about this a lot since last night, actually, because my friend told me that his dad passed away last Friday, and I was very sorry for his loss. And it's a bit hard to talk about this right now because I really like this friend of mine and I really feel for him and what he must be feeling. But I really wanted to talk about it because I think it's very important for us to recognize the importance of cherishing the moment, of living a purposeful life. And this is one of the most important things in the whole rock and roll success philosophy, to enjoy life, to make your life count. And well, to those of you who don't know, I'm Gabriel. Welcome to Rock and Roll Success. And I really like to talk about purpose, about living a life that you won't regret, living a life that whenever it's over, you'll be able to really, not have any deathbed regrets. And this story reminded me of when my grandma was sick. She got sick. I was like 16, 15-ish when we discovered she had cancer. And she basically lived in my parents' house from then on. Like sometimes she'd stay at my aunt for a while, so my mom had a little break, but mostly she was at my parents' house. And my mom even stopped working for a while to take care of her. And every time that I'd go out of the house to go to school and then to college later on, or when I'd come back, the first thing I'd do was always to either say goodbye to her or say hello to her, because I knew that one day I wouldn't be able to do it again. I knew that one day would be the last time I'd be able to say hi, grandma, or bye, grandma. And yeah, this is something I've always had since I was very young, about thinking that life is short, that you gotta enjoy your life as much as possible because you don't know when it's gonna end. It can end at any given moment. I hope not. I hope you live to 100 years old and you have a wonderful life that you're proud of when it's over. But we never know. And that's one of the beautiful things of life as well. You don't know. You just have to live as best as you can each day, each moment, because you don't know when the last one will be. This also reminds me of a story that my dad tells me of his own grandpa, my great grandpa. And one day, probably late 90s, I guess. So my dad was in his late 20s and my great grandpa was like 80 something. I think he was 85 when he passed away. And one day, it must have been in the evening, like maybe 9 p.m., 10 p.m., something like that. And my dad thought of calling him to ask him something random. And he thought of calling him, but it was like, I think it's too late. I don't want to be a burden on my grandpa. And maybe he is sleeping already, because he was one of those guys that, he'd have lunch at 10:30 p.m. and he'd sleep super early. So he thought, I don't want to bother him, so I won't call him. But that's something that he remembers to this day, because even if he wanted to, even if he wanted to call him at 12 p.m., he can't call him anymore. Since 2002, he can't call him. My sister didn't meet him because she was born like my mom was pregnant with her when he passed away. So we really don't know when life will be over. And and I know Lana Del Rey my favorite female singer, she was also like this, that in the sense that when she was very young, she started thinking about the finitude of life and how, you know, eventually we will all pass away. So we kind of, you can enter in a spiral of anxiety, of depression, even when you are like that, when you are a very sensitive person. But at the same time, I think it helps you to not have regrets, in the sense that since you have this notion that life is short and that you must enjoy it as much as possible and that you must cherish the moments with the people you love and doing the things you love to do as much as you can. In a way, it's good because you start enjoying life more. You start really enjoying those moments, and you know that they won't happen again. So you really focus on the present moment and try to enjoy as much as you can. And it's very easy to do this when we're traveling, for example, because we're more open to new situations. You go to the supermarket and you're a kid again because everything is different from where you live. There's a different language. So we're more open. We have our antennas open. And that's why also when we're traveling, or when it's not the travel itself, it's about opening yourself to the stimuli and paying attention to the things in your environment and the present moment. And when we travel, we allow us to do that, like we did when we were kids. So many times we think, oh, childhood was awesome and I love childhood, and it wasn't really about not having responsibilities. It was more about being present and being willing to pay attention to your environment and to enjoy the little things. And if we go back to that childhood mindset, you can actually enjoy your life much more. You can go outside and, you know, they talk a lot about tree huggers and things like that. But really, if you went outside, if you went to a park and you started noticing the trees and the bushes and the animals, the birds, the squirrels, wherever you live, you have some different animals. And if you start paying attention to all of those things and the wind and the sound of the water, it really helps to ground you. Well, on a more positive note, this weekend I went to a friend's wedding, and not only is he a friend, but also his brother is my best friend. I really felt like part of the family. They even put me on the cousins table. Like, they have a bunch of relatives from another state that came for the wedding, and they put me on the cousins table. So it was really heartwarming to really feel like I was part of the family, because really I only knew a handful of people who weren't from their family that were in the wedding anyway. So I felt really nice that it was really nice of them to put me in that table. And really, in those moments, those moments that are not going to happen, at least I hope that he doesn't have another wedding, that they have an awesome life together and that they live happily ever after for 50, 60, 70 years, however much. But in these moments that you have all of those people together, and you see the happiness in all of them, and we really need to enjoy those moments. And I know it's a bit easier in a sense in a big moment like this, in a wedding or when someone's born. I think it's easier for us to appreciate those moments because we kind of have this mindset already that this is a big deal. But really, if you go with the mindset that every moment you get to share with the people you love is a big deal, then it'll be easier for you to you know to have a life that you won't regret. Be able to have those memories. Like, if you have kids, if you have small kids, dude, enjoy them while they're small, because like if your son or your daughter is asking you to pick them up and like throw them around and do crazy shit, eventually they won't want you to pick them up anymore. Or even if they wanted to, eventually they will be too heavy for you to do this. So enjoy while you can. Enjoy while they're small. Enjoy your parents. Enjoy your grandparents if you still have them. You know, your aunts and uncles and great aunts and great uncles and your brothers and sisters and cousins and everyone you love and your friends, the friends that, you know, that handful of friends that we can really say that are the family that we chose. Like my friends, his family chose me, and I'm very grateful for them. And we also chose him, so it goes both ways. And enjoy those moments, man. Enjoy if you're able to just, you know, go out for a coffee with your mom or your dad, or make a barbecue, or it's Thanksgiving time in the U.S. And if I'm not from there, I'm from Brazil, but I know it's a big deal over there. So enjoy those moments, man, that you're able to have an excuse to have your whole family together and be with them. So enjoy those moments because you don't know when the last time will be. And in all realness, you might be the one who's not there next time. We don't know. I think this is one of the things that makes life beautiful in a way, because we just don't know. So we need to enjoy while we can, because we don't know when it's going to be the last time. And sometimes you might not have a next time. So whenever you're doing something, enjoy it because you can. Appreciate it. You know, if you go somewhere that you really love, if you go, if you're traveling, for example, to a new place and you really love it, enjoy it as if it was the last time. And hopefully you'll be able to go back, but maybe you won't. Maybe you'll go to other places, but you'll never step foot again on that little square, that little church that you really liked in that village in Italy or in Spain or whatever. Enjoy that moment because you don't know if you're going to go back there. Enjoy those moments with your loved ones because we never know when it will be the last. And I'm not saying this to make you feel sad or anything. It's quite the contrary, I think, because I know that, like I said in the beginning, it might take you to a path where you get kind of depressed or kind of sad. But really, you know, they say in Bhutan, they think about death 5 or 7 times a day. So like every couple of hours or something, they think about death and the finitude of life. And it might sound a bit like, oh my God, why the hell do they do that? Oh my God, I can't think of this. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh no. But really, it makes a lot of sense because when you put things in perspective, when you remember that you won't be around forever, you kind of want to make things count because you start thinking, what can I do today that will make my life worth it? You know, Steve Jobs said something similar, that when you have too many days in a row that you you kind of get pissed off because you feel like you're not going anywhere and you're not doing things that you should be doing with your life. So when you have too many of these days in a row, you need to reflect, like, what am I doing wrong with my life? Why am I feeling this way? And sometimes it's just a mindset issue. Sometimes you can just flip around how you feel about it, how you think about it. And sometimes not. Sometimes it really is. You're doing the wrong things. You're not doing what you should be doing with your life. So if you do it like the people in Bhutan do, and you think about the finitude of life constantly, I mean, not necessarily 7 times a day, but if you think about it, you know, once a week or at least once a month when you're planning out your month, your week, your day, and you think, dude, this might be my last day. I don't know. Like, if this was my last day, am I doing things that I enjoy? Am I doing things that I will be proud of? Think about when you're in your deathbed, when hopefully you're 110, 120 years old, but eventually we will all be there. So think about when you're living those last few moments, those last few days, and you'll be able to either cherish everything you did, or you'll be able to regret things that you didn't. And usually the people who are very old, they don't regret what they did. It's more what they didn't do, the risk that they were too afraid to take, or they wanted to say I love you to someone, but they were scared of saying it. Didn't feel, they felt that they were too emotionally vulnerable to say it. So those little things add up. And this video is for you to rethink your life, to enjoy every single moment that you can with your loved ones, or while you're doing things that you love to do, because really we never know when it will be the last time. So I hope that you liked it. If you did like it, please like, subscribe, send it to someone, that friend that you were thinking about while you were watching this. Please send it to him, send it to her, and comment, tell me about, situations in your life that you felt a similar way, or what is the purpose of your life? Like, what do you think makes life meaningful for you? I love to read your comments, guys, and I love to comment back. I really like this shared connection that we have. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this video. I hope that this helps you have a better day, a better week, and eventually a better life. And I'll leave another video over here for you to watch if you want to. Keep rocking, keep rolling.